Dr. Susie Meister.
Oh, hi.
As I put down on all of my personal references on the many house applications I'm filling out.
You put the doctor?
Of course I do.
Oh, no.
Susie.
And then they're going to be like, wait a minute. What kind of doctor is this?
Hey, no, I think I go top of the list. They're like, oh, she's friends with doctors.
Episode 595. That was one of the things about the Bill Cosby docu-series that I really liked was how they shit on his, credentials. It was great because...
Tell me what they did.
Well, within, doctors, there's, a hierarchy, but, you're not really supposed to talk about it because it's just gauche and rude and mean usually. But when it comes to Bill Cosby, it's all systems are go, So first they started talking about how, he dropped out of college and then he got an honorary bachelor's because of his success, which, okay. But then, I think not an honorary, but okay, we'll give you your bachelor's since you did all this other stuff. So it's not honorary, but he didn't actually.
A little...
Yeah, sketch. So then, but he's donating a ton of money to them, so I get it. And then
You just donate money and you get to be a doctor? Is that how this goes?
Well, for Bill, it did.
This is stupid.
And then he, applied to grad school and he started the master's program, but then I guess he got that, but then he... did he? Well, right, because a lot of his coursework was... he got a course credit just for going to appear on Sesame Street.
No!
A whole course,
That's not fair because when I tried to use a filming of a anti-smoking campaign commercial that I did with my mom as volunteer work for a class for a health project, they denied me.
What on what grounds?
They said it didn't count because it was not real volunteer work.
Well, that's
technically
weird.
I am volunteering, and it is for an anti-smoking campaign.
Yeah,
suck it.
Wow. Well, apparently you did not have the clout of Mr. Cosby.
No, I didn't.
And then when it came time to write a dissertation, now this is an EDD, so this is a Doctor of Education, which is, as anyone knows, Jill Biden knows, that gets shit on all the time because it's considered sort of the lowest possible rung of doctorates.
Really?
Yeah. But anyway.
Where does PsyD fit in there?
It's probably on par with any humanities or,
okay,
political science or something like that.
All right, middle of the pack?
Yeah, just sort of standard. And then the medical doctors shit on PhDs. Even though,
right,
in my opinion, which is totally biased, I consider medicine to be a trade.
Right.
Carpentry,
well, one's
but just
rote
pays
memorization.
Better. Yeah.
And some other ones are maybe kind of a different kind of critical thinking, unless you're a different kind of, doctors are going to get mad at us.
Well, that's all right, because people do it to me all the time, so, whatever.
Yeah, it's only fair.
And in this case, we're just shitting on Bill Cosby. If you
that's who we really want to shit on.
We salute all learning. I do not salute people that try to get credentials without doing the work. And so he basically, when it came time to write his PhD or EDD dissertation, he just had people that worked on Fat Albert write it for him. The writers on Fat Albert wrote his dissertation.
I have no more air in my lungs.
And it was about Fat Albert too.
That's awful.
Yeah.
That's because at any other institution that would be plagiarism.
Well, yeah, it's certainly not his own work.
Right.
And then when he was critical of an actual PhD who wrote an op-ed about him, when they met, the professor called him Dr. Cosby, but Cosby would only call that guy Mr. whatever. He wouldn't even call him by his actual earned educational title. He's a piece of shit, even apart from the raping, even apart from the drugging and raping of women. Anyway, Sorry about that tangent.
No. Yeah. I like that when you go off and get angry at men, because that seems to be a little bit of a theme personally for me this week. You know, did you see my rant on Instagram yesterday?
Yes, you were mad about
Susie
AutoZone experience.
I'm very upset.
Yeah.
Before I dive into some interesting stories this week, I need to get this off my chest. Now, I only put it on close friends. I am still mad about it. And because here's why. I feel like nobody did this because it was just on our close friends, but I feel like there's somebody out there who's playing the other side of the argument of like, Sarah, people are just trying to be nice. And that I can't stand. So let me tell you the situation. So, because this was like threefold, where it feels like I'm being dismissed.
Okay.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, and a few of them were good intentioned. We'll give it that. So I, moved to Denver, and I'm not used to being in the cold, blah, blah, blah. So I am trying to use my windshield wipers, and they're not working. But it's weird because there is a little bit of, like, spray coming out the side, but not where the windshield wiper like the little spouts are. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, this is interesting. And also, I put a whole bunch of new windshield wiper fluid in that's like negative 20 degrees. All works fine. Like, I made sure to, like, clear the line out of the old one so it wouldn't freeze. Did all that stuff right. Then, it just stops working. And I'm also draining through windshield wiper fluid very quickly. So then I asked this guy I'm dating, I'm like, hey, can you, I need some help with like some tinkering, like some like taking a peek at something. Can you I'm having some, and he's like, oh, what's going on? So I explained, I'm like, yeah, my windshield wipers, it doesn't seem to be working. Could that be something with the cold? And he kind of gives me like the generic answer of, oh yeah, I'm sure it's just wait till your car warms up a bit.
Yeah, it's like the equivalent of like, did you turn it off and start it back up?
Totally.
Right.
And like and I was like, okay, but in my mind, I'm like,
that's everybody's way of saying like, I don't know either.
Right? I'm like, it seems like more than that. So finally I have like a few extra minutes. And so I go and I open my hood in my car and I use my noodle. Mm-hmm. And I just trace. It's pretty easy. Like once you get under those plastic like shields that they put on new cars, cars are pretty simple. And I just traced the hose where the windshield wiper fluid came out of. And what do you know? The hose looks like it had been cut, like it was snipped straight in half. Almost like maybe I slammed my hood down and it like got caught between two pieces of metal. Or who knows? It just was cut in half. And I'm like, oh, well, that's it. This is exactly where the windshield wiper fluid was coming out of. So then I think, okay, and it's pretty easy, I think, okay, you just need a connector piece, piece that goes from this to this. I go into AutoZone, and I go into AutoZone to get this piece because, of course, this is, like, very easy. It's like a Lego piece. Like, it's, like, connects. Like, this feels like anybody who played with, like, blocks when they were little could figure this one out.
Yeah.
It was like every man in there was asking, like, 3 different guys. And it's not now, people listening. I know what you're going to say. You're going to be like, I saw your hair in that TikTok video with Sarah, or that Instagram story. You looked adorable that day. They were probably flirting with you. And I say to that, no, they were not.
Okay, wait. When I watched that video, I was thinking a lot about your hair and how good it looked and everything. But then I thought maybe they associate really curly, bouncy hair with like Shirley fucking Temple or something.
Right, like I can't do it, like I'm like helpless.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was wearing overalls.
I think
it's not what they say, as you know. It's how they say it.
Was it with like a head tilt? Like you're
yes,
pathetic? Yeah.
And it was the, are you sure? It was the follow-up questions that really made me feel like, I am sure. And then when one guy was like, do you need me to maybe go out to your car and look at it? And I was like, no. And I'm not, I didn't come in there and say like, hey, I have a weird noise. Do you think like something's going on?
Yeah.
Question
this was
mark.
Like a tangible.
I said, excuse me, do you have a universal vacuum connector for a hose.
Yeah.
What?
It's so annoying.
I'm sorry. What in that, where, if I had a penis and I came in and said that, what would you do?
Right. I mean, it's true. What you're saying is true.
I'm getting ragey mad. I'm getting mad now. I also am premenstrual. I know this because I'm not kidding, Susie. This is embarrassing. I'll go ahead and admit it. I ate an entire large pizza, like pizza from the grocery store, like, you know, one of those, like, you get it and heat it up.
Yeah,
like
a frozen pizza.
Yeah, not like frozen pizza. The one that, you know, they have like Ralph's. It's like the fresh but not frozen. One of those.
Okay.
Yeah, whole one.
Good
ate the
for
whole
you.
thing, and an entire chocolate bar that I was like, I had to make an emergency stop at Trader Joe's to get a specific.
Time.
Oh yes, and God forbid anybody say, "Could you be on your period?" Then I will actually murder you. But no,
like
now that I put it together, I definitely would, because I'm getting kind of like emotional about them, and it just felt like, because, and then I couldn't get over it. I've been playing it in my head for the last 24 hours, and because how we got here. You know, like the one nice guy who was, maybe he was being a nice guy, who was like, hey, can I help you? As I was putting it in my car, installing it perfectly, might I add. It works fantastic now. It was the exact thing I needed. I knew exactly what piece. The guy was like, hey, do you need help? And I, of course, because now I'm all ragey, I had to say to him, I said, you know what? I was not, at first I was like, no, I don't need help. And he goes, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And if I were a guy, would you ask that? And he was like, oh my God. I was like, no, really. If I were a guy, and he goes, well, I mean, I just have a mom and sisters. And he starts naming girls in his life. And I was like, oh, for Pete's sake. And so I was like extra mad. So then I was thinking, like, this guy's just trying to be nice. How did we get here? It's him saying that is a... Even if there is the idea that I can do it on my own, there's still, we've set up society and how things are so that there is this feeling of like, when somebody asks that all the time, it's like, how, okay. When I was on The Real World, I never thought about being depressed, ever. And then one of the fucking producers one morning was like, at an interview, was like, you know, you've been sleeping in real late. Are you depressed? I had not thought that I was depressed until somebody said, are you depressed? And so I feel like when I'm like in this, I'm feeling so good. I'm like, I fucking diagnosed the problem. I am going to fix it. I am going to enjoy the feeling. Oh, now I'm getting extra ragey because I figured it all out. I am going to enjoy the feeling that of satisfaction that all these men get from being able to be the problem. So I love that feeling. I love
that is true.
Solving the puzzle. It's a puzzle, and you're just standing over my shoulder saying, would you like the answer to 37 down, blah, blah, blah. And so somebody's stealing that away, and like I could have gone in there without anybody saying anything and be like, hey, I think I know what the answer to this. Gone in there, got my piece, had a wonderful time, put it on, got the feeling of satisfaction. But instead, I gotta be interrupted by all these fucking dudes who like want to question whether or not I mean, in a way, it kind of made me even more excited when I actually got it. But then it felt like a big fuck you. Like I'm saying fuck you to them. It's not even for me anymore. Thanks for letting me vent.
The problem, it seems, isn't that they offered to help. It's really just that they wouldn't have done it for a man.
Yes.
Because I think that's a good, customer service if you're available and helpful. That's nice.
But not customer service from the men in the parking lot. They don't work there.
Well, like, let's say I was walking out. Oh, he didn't work there?
No, Susie. These are
this
guy pulling out of his car, like pulling next to me at the parking lot. One guy in the parking lot, 3 guys in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then the guy looks at me like, oh, God, with his freaking dip in his lip as he's working, which, by the way, AutoZone, you should not be letting employees do that because that is fucking gross. A lot of fucking complaints today.
You're like, and another thing.
And another thing.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
I just want to like go to that. I just want to go there and be like, come here. And then just turn my turn the windshield fluid on and spray it. Like, oh, look at it. See how it works perfect? I didn't need any of your fucking help.
You got to open like an auto care place for ladies and nice men and other non-binary people.
Yes.
Because
where we just
fun.
And another thing, because also here's I thought about so many different parts of this. If I don't like that they assume, like if I didn't know what part if I needed help and I were a man, I would ask for it. Mm-hmm. But probably not, because like, come on, what man asks for help? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, but I'm not. So I feel like they wouldn't, there's this assumption that if a man needs help, he'll ask for it. Mm-hmm. If a woman needs help, she won't ask for it?
Right. Well, she
this
will,
is where
but
I
they
was
don't
just like,
wait for it. In your case, they didn't wait for you to ask.
Like, I wanted to interview every single one of them and just be like, do you think that if I needed help, I would ask? And if the answer is no, then there's something to unpack. Why have we created a system, a situation, a vibe where I feel uncomfortable asking? Because if I were a man, I wouldn't feel uncomfortable asking. So whatever they answer, it's kind of like my favorite question to ask guys, which is probably like, you know, I'm only sort of single, so I was going to say why I'm single. But how do you know when sex is over? Mm-hmm. Any answer they get, it like catches them before they're like sexist assholes.
I always wondered if the problem with that question was just that they didn't, like they think it's obvious, so then you asking makes them feel like it's a trick question.
No, I don't do it like, well, how do you know sex is over? You know, I word it, you know, in a way that makes it seem like, yeah, like, you know, what do you think about, how would you know, like, it's sometimes easy to know when sex is about to start. How do you know when it's over? Tricky!
That's what I mean. They get scared by those ones.
I'm just terrifying.
Well, I'm glad you sorted out your car.
I know, me too.
That's
and
a
I
relief.
felt very empowered.
Did you?
Yeah, there should be like why isn't there? There's got to be like a female. I feel like that's the vibe at Lowe's versus Home Depot.
Really?
Oh, Lowe's is definitely for the ladies.
Wow.
I don't know why. I don't know who unofficially did this. Like why? Maybe it's because of when I compare the houseplant section. It seems like Lowe's has.
Oh, so they have more products that appeal to a stereotypically female.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it feels less like
broy.
I don't know. Yeah. They've made the edge. They've softened they put little pads on the corners so that you don't, you know, hit the baby proofed it in a way. I don't know. Like Lowe's feels like that.
Well,
like
Lowe's owner is liberal. Home Depot's owner is conservative.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I love that. Well, there we go.
So
I'm only shopping at Lowe's.
Maybe that affects the sort of vibe and branding. I don't know.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is...
Sarah's got a theory. Sarah and Susie. We just
Sarah
cooked up a
and Susie. Sarah and Susie have a theory.
Okay, well, I've got a theory, which is that Dipsy is great. It would be great for you because you're struggling with this rage, this Autozone Rage. So maybe
God.
You could get
Calm me down a little. Yeah.
Dipsy is this great service where you can get, it's an app full of sexy audio stories, okay?
Yeah, and like way more female friendly.
Yeah, and whatever it is that you're into, they have something for you. Yes. But you can also use like fantasies as a way to soothe yourself to sleep. So they have like a bedtime kind of deal. And then just whatever you need. So if you're going to be all by yourself and you want to get the job done, or you want to get revved up for your hot date, whatever. For listeners of the show, Dipsea is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipseastories.com/braincandy. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to dipseastories.com/braincandy. dipseastories.com/braincandy.
Okay, so that's just my venting today, but now maybe we'll talk about some real stories.
Okay.
Would you like to know a super brain candy story, or would you like to know something more in the brain category?
I always go with brain.
Okay.
If I'm given the choice.
Yes, this one was interesting, and I feel like we've done enough of these episodes, and we'll forever keep saying that, to kind of be able to put together why. But there was a study that was done on the pursuit of happiness. And, you know, most people, there's even a song, you know, like we always say that, I'm on the pursuit of happiness. I can't tell you how many clients come in and when they say, what are your goals? I want to be happier. That's kind of like where they start. Well, truth is, the pursuit of happiness can actually lead to loneliness.
Okay.
And really, there are other things that we should be pursuing instead.
Right.
So I feel like I feel like your reaction is what it is because we've done enough of these where you're like, yeah, we know this now. But that completely goes against so many things. If I were to say, hey, I would like you to stop your pursuit of happiness, people would be like, I don't know if I could do that. Well, what am I supposed to do instead?
Right. Well, is this the article that talks about how you can find meaning through things that are like travel and experiences and things like that bring fulfillment, and that's a different measure than like quote unquote happiness. Yes. Yeah, I agree with this. I've been trying to tell people this for a long time.
I feel like we get stuck in these phrases, these like
tropes, or what's the word? Cliches, yeah.
Yes, these cliches. You know, what book? We read a book a long time ago. Was it a Malcolm Gladwell book? It was something for the book club that it talked about how if you just say phrases, like certain phrases, like an apple a day keeps the doctor away, like when it has a nice ring to it, people are more likely to believe it.
Oh my God.
And we definitely, this was Brain Candy episode 0 through 50. Where we talked about this.
Right. And so like when you say pursuit of happiness or something like that.
Yeah. And then I feel like they're like every time I think about I think about the song, there's that song, I'm on the pursuit of and it's been used so much that it almost feels like something we're like trying to do. It's been, it seems like, I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy. This, yeah, of course I would want that.
Well,
but that's like saying I just want Christmas every day.
Kind of like the everything is relative thing. So if you expect your day to be garbage, but then it's not too bad, you're super psyched. But if you think you're going to have the best day ever, you're going to Disney World and then it rains and it's terrible, you're mad.
Expectations versus reality. Yeah. In a way.
Yeah, and so then when you couple that issue, the relativism of it, with how we surf social media constantly and compare ourselves to people who appear to be much happier than we feel in that moment, then it makes us miserable.
Susie, I feel like you understand this so well because you are Larry David.
Now you're just trying to flatter me.
I feel like that this is the reason why this feels so contradictory, if that's the right way I'm using that, because of my eternal optimism.
Yeah.
And how this is like you're like, yeah, of course, I've been doing this since I was a kid, Sarah. This is my goal.
Stop it. Right, for real. If you don't think like you're ever going to be happy, then it turns out.
Yeah, turns out.
Paradoxically, that you end up pretty happy.
I was surprised about the loneliness thing, though.
Yeah, what does it say specifically about that part?
That when and it makes sense when you think about it, is that when we focus on ourselves and when we focus on our own happiness, it naturally leads to isolation, and it naturally leads to this, like, us and them, this divide, when in reality, the things that really make us happy have so much to do with social support. The people who score highest, I love these kind of things because they're just like reminders of why we need to connect with others. And for people who are extroverted introverts like myself, that can be hard to do because it feels so good to spend time alone. But people who report good social support, or people who score the highest in happiness, report good social support. So people who are there for them when they need it. And this also goes both ways. They can't just be there, but this is kind of like how we get people to be there for us. We also, in return, are people who offer support. Those are the people who rank highest in happiness. And they live meaningful lives. So just like you said, they do something that contributes to society. And they experience an abundance of positive emotions. And people are like, yeah, of course. But the cool thing about that is that positive emotions, or we experience 30 times more positive emotions when we are in a group than when we are in solitude. 30 times?
Man.
That kind of makes me feel like I can just go have one day of hanging out with people, and it'd be the same as like 30 days of being alone.
Huh. 30 days. Wow.
I don't know. It's terrible
That's
math.
interesting. Interesting theory.
So basically, like, one day should last the whole month, is what I'm saying.
I see. Okay. Well, I'm sure it couldn't hurt. I mean, it does seem like the broader implication, too, though, is how important social networks are in terms of, like, support. If you live in a country or a place where they have healthcare and stability and all of these things that contribute to well-being. So
it all goes together.
We aren't people who live in a society like that. And so we keep seeking an individualistic solution, like an internal solution to an external issue.
Yes.
You know?
I keep thinking about that more and more. How you said that about your problem with the Get Well books. Nope, not those. The self-help books, which might as well be called Get Well books.
Yeah.
And how there's that blame almost on the, like, if you only did this better, when it's a whole system.
Right. Yeah. You weren't optimistic enough. You weren't whatever enough, positive enough. It's just, it is a lie.
Yeah, and I also feel like this explains, we talk about cults and we talk about, conspiracy theories and the people who, like, are finding, like, connection in
community
places,
right.
like, because there's such a lack and such a need for this.
Yeah. Part of the problem, though, is that most people really don't know it. It's sort of like that thing where the fish asked the other fish, is the water cold? And then the fish said, what's water? Like, if you're swimming in individualism, you don't know that there's another way. You just think this is how life is. But it's not everywhere.
It's really not. That is why going to a therapist is so important.
Why?
To do my own commercial right now. Because it gives an outside perspective. Because a lot of times, I think having somebody else to talk to gets, like, another view in.
Yeah.
And they can kind of see that system a little more.
Mm-hmm.
And show you patterns and connections. And, a lot of, especially, like, feminist theory, like, therapy is really talking about the systems at play. And so important. Man, get a therapist, everyone. I guess that's the solution.
That is.
But they did give a list of 5 ways to boost. Oh, okay. So we need to abandon. So let's just abandon the happiness thing. And the truth is, I was talking to my supervisor about this the other day because we were talking about, like, like that phrase is so commonly, like, so often brought into therapy is like, with your goals. So what are your goals? Oh, I want to be happier. And so I'll be like, really? Like happy all the time? Like that would be inappropriate. Like, what if it's like somebody's funeral? You can't be like happy there. You know, like there are certain times, I don't say that, but there are times for everything. And so real life is like a lot of what we do. Are the Amish on your roof again?
It's unbelievable. They are not on my roof, but they are here, and they are remodeling our laundrette.
Oh, girl, you needed that.
Sarah knows.
That I'm fine with that. Bang away, Amish guys.
We have
keep up the good work.
Ridiculous,
you're doing the Lord's work.
Spacious home, but this, like. We
no
had a
joke.
Laundry situation where I couldn't even open the washer door all the way. I had to like do Cirque du Soleil moves to get them out, to get the clothes out. Anyway, I
do like those quirky things in houses and stuff like that.
I guess so. It does give a character, but
man,
I'm not
your
mad
house is the
about
best.
Getting a proper situation going.
I miss your house.
Do you?
It really set the bar. Now I'm like, ugh, I can't live here. I want to be in the woods.
Yeah, that is so nice. I mean, there's a downside, especially if you enjoy like walking around and like seeing humans.
No, I'm good.
You're all tapped out?
I'm all tapped out.
Really?
No, I'm not tapped out. I just, I can feel them. Like.
Oh, yeah.
One of the most bizarre experiences I ever had that really, I don't know, it just was like an aha moment for me. And I don't know, call it whatever you want, but I was on an airplane once and I had the worst anxiety. And it felt like anxiety. I'm not usually somebody who experiences like, I want to crawl out of my skin anxiety. I can usually pinpoint it to something. Like I'm an overthinker, but I don't just feel like the physiological feelings of anxiety, like out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And I could not, I was like itching all over. I'm like thinking, even just right now, I'm like thinking of it. And then I was sitting behind this guy and then the little, we get like 30,000 feet up in the air and that little ding goes off and he jumps up and he grabs something, grabs his bag down and he like sits down and I see him pop a piece of gum in his mouth. And instantly I felt this wave of relief, like, and then I saw that it was a pack of Nicorette gum. And I, in that moment, was like, oh my God, these are his feelings, not mine. And it was this, whether it was in my head or whatever you want to call it, I don't know, but I felt like those feelings that I was experiencing I knew that I wasn't anxious, that was him.
Come on.
So I can feel like people and so when I'm in an apartment building or in a city, it's like, it feels like I have a lot of different, like I don't know, like buzzy signals around, like a bunch of different radio stations. This is like when you said in book
club that you're an electrosensitive, and I wanted to jump through the Zoom screen and strangle you.
You want to jump through right now? I know I can't. I just feel like there's and as soon as I drive out and get into a little bit of open space, my body goes like, like it feels like this like pressure, but I can't even explain it. Like a buzzing, like a noise, but I can't hear it. I can just sense it and feel it. And then it goes away when I'm in the open.
Like I want to be mean about it, but I won't. But
I can't explain it. Look, I don't know. I'm not even calling it anything. It just, I can't explain it.
Right. And what do I know?
What do we know?
Maybe you're whatever that is. Vibrational psychic?
Yeah, I like that question mark. I would never even call myself psychic. But
you
I don't. It's more like, I don't fucking know. Who knows? We're going to figure these things out in like 100 years. You can measure the electricity that comes off people. Like, you can measure people's...
That's what stops me from being too mean to you, because, like, I do know that feeling of when, we say it. When someone walks in a room, they light up the room. What is that? It's something.
It's something. I don't know what it is. And even if it's just, like... Even if I'm only getting, like, 1% of it from people, from every person, if I'm surrounded by 1,000 people, that's too much. But if I live in a duplex out in the country, then it's only 2 people, and I'm okay.
Oh my God.
So I don't know. I feel it, but...
Well, yeah, we were... In book club, the book we were talking about was The Quiet Zone, which if you guys haven't read it, it's really good. And it's fascinating about this town. I forget where it is, in the Carolinas or something, Virginia. I don't know. Where they can't have Wi-Fi and stuff. And so it does attract a lot of these people that claim to be electrosensitive, and they think that, like, coffee pots and microwaves give them some sort of physical problems. And Sarah
weird,
said, listen, don't judge.
My coffee pot's just fine.
You know what else is just fine are your Rothys.
They are just fine. Ooh, you know what? Now that you mention that, I think it's time for me to update the Rothys collection.
They have a new spring collection.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. I'm very excited about it. They have colors that really caught my eye. The violet, and then there's like a citron yellow that I love. I love a bold shoe,
Yeah. Oh, you do love a bold shoe.
Because, I wear, like, black turtlenecks all the time, like I'm Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes. But then I need a little something for fun, for whimsy. And thank God for Rothys, because these babies are so comfy and so nice. And they look really cute. And then you can wash them and keep them nice and clean.
Like forever.
Forever.
And that's why I say to add to the collection, because it's not like my other shoes where, I've worn through them, time to buy the new pair. No. Mm-hmm. This is like, let's add to the collection that I'm going to... And I love their bags, too.
They have wonderful products, super high quality, and it's like cost per wear is incredible because, she said, they last forever.
I love doing that math.
Step up your shoes and accessories this spring and get ready to be asked, are those Rothys? Plus, get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/braincandy. That's ROTHYS.com/braincandy.
Oh, my gosh. It is so fun to see them IRL. And, like, I go cuckoo crazy when I see somebody else. I'm like, oh, Rothys twins!
It's like a little
you don't even have to ask. You see the little stripe on the back. You're like, yep, know those. Yes. Okay. So, now that you've heard me complain about electromagnetic and blah, 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 how about some ways to actually improve your well-being? Because that's what really the focus is. Ditch happiness. Also, if you hear a vacuum in the background, I apologize, because the other electromagnetic field right below me is clearly vacuuming.
I can't hear it. You must have those supersonic ears too.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. So ditch the idea of happiness, and instead what we have to focus on is well-being. Oh, I know. I didn't even say this. I was talking to my supervisor about happiness and how everybody says that. We were just kind of like laughing that most of life is on like a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being super happy and like 1 being sad. Most things are like a 3, like 4, like brushing your teeth. What is that?
Yeah.
Vacuuming? Right. What is that? Mm-hmm. Like, most stuff is not going to make you happy. Like, it barely brings meaning. They're just, like, getting through. So we instead need to redefine, like, what our focus is and focus on well-being. How do I boost my well-being? And I feel like that, even in just saying that, there's some freedom in that. The bar drops. Mm-hmm. Don't you feel like that?
Yeah.
Today I'm going to boost my well-being instead of today I'm going to be happy. Ugh!
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's too hard. Mm-hmm. So, how do we boost our well-being?
Because wouldn't you say, even like we always say, a good night's sleep, that will increase your well-being, but it won't necessarily make you happy or joyful.
Correct.
Yeah, you're right.
Correct. Boost the and it's so much more attainable. Like, that's a goal I can, because it also feels like happiness is like I either have it or I don't have it. And if I don't have it, if I didn't experience it, because most of the time it's these external factors that we can't even control, you know? So it's like putting everything in somebody else's hands. That's horrible. And so it's like, it feels like, oh, if I am not happy at the end of the day, then I somehow failed. But well-being feels like it's on a scale. It feels like you can boost it. You can go, oh, well, this morning I was a 3 and now I'm a 3.5. Yay, I won today. So how do we boost our well-being? One, ensure, this is exactly what you said with sleep. Ensure you can meet the basic needs of yourself.
Yeah.
Why is that so hard?
I mean, I know I'm like a broken record, but I feel like in part it is because we do not have the networks and safety nets in society. Yeah. And so since we have no time during the day because all of our jobs are constant and we have nobody to help us, then we rob ourselves of sleep so that we can have some fun. Things like that. Oh
gosh, you're right. It's that sleep, that thing that we do, like, oh, I'm gonna get, this is my time now.
Yeah.
And then
you're gonna pay for it. Oh, so you're always robbing yourself on one end or the other.
I do that so much.
Yeah, you do.
Especially with binge watching television shows. Ugh, the worst. Okay, number 2, allocate regular time for pleasurable activities such as a walk, playing a game, or watching or listening to something you enjoy, like the Brain Candy podcast, but actually allocating time for it. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that people don't do, is they don't block it off and actually schedule it.
Right.
Even
so
just put it on your calendar. Actually do it. Like, you have to put it on the like, get out your calendar and say, and it feels so weird to do because it's going to feel selfish. Mm-hmm. But this is like putting on the air mask before you do everybody else's. Put it down, and it doesn't have to be a lot. But I think with the I don't know, the kind of jobs that we have now where you don't, it's not really 9 to 5. It's like all the time, forever. Yeah. There's no, real boundaries. It makes it feel like even if you're playing a game and you get like, a phone call that takes your mind out of it and puts you into work mode, then you're not really giving that time to yourself to fill up that tank. You've only filled it halfway up.
Yeah.
And like, it's okay. We really got to give ourselves permission to actually do that stuff.
Right.
Ugh. Agreed. So hard. I'm saying this as I'm thinking about all the times that I have not done that myself and all the examples. Next, invest in building and maintaining positive relationships with friends. I always love those TikToks and memes and things that are just like, nobody is mad at you right now. Your friends are not upset with you. You could call that we all just need to hear every now and then because we always think that somebody's probably mad at me. Like, no, nobody's mad. So, nice reminder. Number 4, stay connected with what makes your life meaningful. This is exactly what you said. For example, supporting a movement, following faith, or committing fully to your personal or professional role. And number 5, make things better for your community. Anything. Oh, speaking of which, how's your community garden?
It's good. Boy, if you would like to learn about municipalities' red tape, offer to do something nice for them.
Oh my God! Because they make it impossible to do something nice for them.
They have to have 100 meetings.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
There's just, and it's nice that everybody's so thoughtful about their community, but it does sort of prevent progress. So, what
are you running into problems for?
Well, they just like to meet, and then they talk about what would it be, and how would it serve the community, and who would pay for it, and they need to figure out all this stuff, logistics. In the meantime, it's I just want some GD tomatoes over here, and
right,
to have people just stop over and learn about gardening, but. Hopefully one day
from a Brit, I can't take it.
But we'll get there. We'll get there for sure.
Yeah, it's good. It's winter right now, so we're you got some time before the spring planting season. Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah. Well, there you go. Those are the 5 ways. Those are the things. Change. Just toss out the phrase "I just want to be happier." and recognize that every time we talk about, or not every time, but, when we say that, or we're kind of like setting ourselves up for failure. And just...
It sort of reminds me of the issue with the beauty industry, who invents problems so that then you buy whatever they're selling to fix that invented problem.
Right.
And so it sort of feels like that with happiness too. Like, we're so often told in magazines and companies that are trying to make money that we should be happier.
Right.
And so it's like we keep buying into this idea because it keeps being preached to us.
And then they do things like have the studies of which nation is the happiest. Mm-hmm. How do we become happy? And yeah, it does. It's preached to us, and it's this unrealistic, absolutely unattainable, and not even what you'd want all the time.
And to me, it's not even a reliable metric because it's more of a manifestation of other things. I bet you the country with the most, quote, happiness would likely have more equality and more governmental safety nets like healthcare and childcare. Things like that.
Yep.
That's what makes people happy.
Yes. See? That's
I'm just theorizing.
Okay. What if, we talk about how, a lot of the books make it like a personal, this thing of like, you are on your own and, just like the self-help books. But if everybody individually focused on well-being, then it would kind of change those things.
Yeah, it'd be like a byproduct. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like this.
All right, we're making progress, guys. World peace coming up soon. Maybe episode 1000. We'll have world peace.
Which is like right around the corner. So, I mean, I don't know. By the looks of things, we got a long way to go out there. So
that's true, but maybe it's like the storm before the calm. Look, I'm just trying to be optimistic. That's our signature move.
Wow, I like this. Yeah,
right?
Susie getting real optimistic over there. That's I always love that.
Sometimes
here I am being like, tone down your happiness, Suze.
What if?
What's happened?
Right. Everything's gone crazy. The world's gone mad. Susie's feeling optimistic.
The world's gone mad.
Okay, well, let's take a break and this is a good thing for maybe some well-being, which we're very into, and that's taking a ritual vitamin.
Yes.
Or taking their essential protein.
Ooh.
Which,
I have mastered the perfect blend of when you make your smoothie and, you got to dial it in with the perfect flavor combo.
Yeah. You love that.
I do. And their vanilla is fantastic. And it tastes like I'm drinking a smoothie from a fancy smoothie shop and getting all my proteins.
It's so great, and as you guys know, I love their vitamins because of the way that they make me feel good, but without nausea, and they're time release and gentle, and they smell lovely. But you can shake up your protein ritual. Our listeners get 10% off during your first 3 months at ritual.com/braincandy. Ritual even offers a money-back guarantee if you're not 100% in love. Visit ritual.com/braincandy today for 10% off your first 3 months.
Okay, what story do I want to share with you next? Let's just get real brain candy and just do this one that's... I don't ask a lot of follow-up questions, but... A man in, I believe it was I want to say it was India. I think so. Was rushed to the hospital after ramming a AA battery up his penis.
Oh, no.
Yep. 49-year-old man, apparently no mental health issues, but rammed
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like that They did not mention in there this man is suffering from severe mental...
It's got to be implied.
Right. That's why I was like, don't ask a lot of follow-up questions because I think they were sparing this guy in a lot of this. But so it says that it was in China. He says that he thought his urethra was broken. So he inserted the tip of a chopstick up into his penis to check. But after ramming it further into his member, he could not get it back out.
So then he when did the battery come in?
That was after, well, apparently this was another issue.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay. I would like to know, just, guess.
Yeah.
What would anyone mean when they say my urethra is, quote, broken?
Yeah, well, I think maybe they were using this other example to maybe, I'm trying to help them out as much as I can, give like some explanation to why. It seems like, this is what it seems like. I think urethra was broken, meaning he wasn't peeing straight or something like that. And maybe from shoving things in there.
I think so.
I think that was probably like a weird fetish. And then the other guy was like, oh, it's broken. And the other guy did the chopstick thing. And then they were like, oh, well, this other guy said it was broken and used a chopstick. Maybe this guy with the battery was having the same problem. No, I think he might just want to shove foreign objects into his penis.
I think so.
Apparently it was removed with no surgery. Huh? But after 24 hours. The X-ray is crazy. We're going to definitely put that on our
got to be kidding me.
Instagram, but like close friends.
Don't you think they should take the battery out and then take him right over to the psych?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're crazy. I'm sorry. I can't think of any situation. Well, because it's self-harm, if you ask me.
Yeah,
right?
But if we're right about the motive, it sounds like it was attempting to be the opposite of self-harm.
Ooh, like self-pleasure. Look at I sent you a picture of the X-ray so you can enjoy that.
Whether I liked it or not. Let's see.
Whether you liked it or not. It's not too bad. It's the X-ray, but it just looks funny. Oh, it kind of makes me sick.
That's really far in. That's like, oh, wait. Is the penis that blob that's like hanging over sideways?
Listen, I can show you where a broken bone in an arm is. I don't know anything about what a dick looks like under X-ray. It's not what I expected it to look like.
Oh yeah, because they pixelated that part. That's the wiener. and then
I love when Susie says wiener. It's one of my favorite things.
And then it looks like he really shoved that baby in pretty far.
Oh, jeezy crazy. Yeah. Is it one of those things where once it's in, it keeps going up?
Oh,
or
right.
Is it? Oh my God,
like a
I
suction.
Can't. Oh God, I apologize to anybody who has a penis right now. I am so sorry. I am in pain. My urethra is hurting, and I can just imagine.
Is it broken?
I'm not going to check.
I mean, this is an example of someone who is not working on their well-being for sure.
No, definitely not the right way. Okay, change of subject. One more story.
By the way, can I just say, we need to have like some sort of conversation sometime soon about like whether we're, how we're supposed to be pro-sex worker and all that stuff.
Yeah, we are.
But sometimes I'm just like disturbed so much by like a lot of what I was reading an article about Pornhub and.
Oh God.
And I was like having these thoughts and I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to be thinking this stuff. Because I'm supposed to be like very progressive and stuff.
What kind of thoughts? Go on.
Just that, like, maybe we should stop it with all this. Sarah Silverman.
We should.
Talks about
There's
porn.
a big difference. Whoa.
What?
There's a big difference between being sex positive and recognizing how the overexposure or what is it called when you
like desensitization?
Desensitization is a thing. There's too much things that those are in two different categories. Those are different subjects.
Well, aren't we supposed to support sex workers though?
Yeah.
How do
we
do
support
that?
Sex workers. But I think we also can say that I don't support the they're like everything in small doses. That's like saying, I love wine, but like don't become an alcoholic.
Okay. All right. I'll keep fleshing this out because I'm not ready to form a full opinion.
There is a documentary. I was just looking through stuff last night of like documentaries and things like that I saved that I want to watch. And there's one called Raised on Porn.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
No, it like just came out,
on my list. I have a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
It's on my spreadsheet.
I have like notes scribbled on like coffee napkins and stuff like that,
right.
like random. And Susie's like, I have a spreadsheet. This makes sense for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what about it? Like it's saying that what you're implying.
Yeah, I just put it on the list of things to watch. I think that is one of them that I want to watch. And oh my gosh, my alarm all the time. Alexa, stop. I should really shut that off because now that you hear it, I share the same room. Okay. Do we have time for one more story?
Yeah, sure. I interrupted you too, so.
Okay.
Please,
No, it's okay. I love this because he was actually successful with it. There is a teenager whose mom bet him $1,800 that he couldn't stay off social media for 6 years, and he did it.
I saw that headline.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's not enough.
What, $1,800?
Yeah. 6 years? $300 a year?
No, I think that's great.
Yeah, you think so?
For an 18-year-old? You got $1,800 come up?
I'm glad he did it, but I mean, 6 years is a long time.
Listen, my mom tried this, but not with social media. She said she would pay any of her children $1,000 if they made it to their 18th birthday or 21st birthday, can't remember, without drinking or smoking. None of us won.
Wow. Was it like the honor system?
I mean, kind of, but like she knew. And then at a certain point, like I think we would joke, we'd be like, how much do I pay you so I can do this? Like, I want to do it. I'm going to. It's worth it. $1,000? Yeah, for those nights.
Well, yeah. Like, do you think that there is a dollar amount that would have been successful with you and your brothers?
No. Well, also, my mom was terrible at paying up. She still owes me $100 for betting me that there's no overweight people in Japan. And I was like, Mom, sumo wrestlers. And I was like, also, that's a total generalization.
Yes.
I'm like, yes. I'm like, Mom, great. That is not, I can remember this was like 20 years ago that she made this bet. And she's still, I mean, she's sort of probably. She's like, I've paid you in other ways, but she never does it. Yeah. Or she'd be like, I'll give you $5 if you massage my feet tonight. She never paid us.
Wow. So
she probably still owes me.
Yeah, you didn't trust
there's a tab. So I'm like, nah, she's not going to pay me. Give me that drink. It's fine. Plus, I argued that I should have technically won because I lived in England where the drinking age was 18.
I think that's fair.
Right.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
She doesn't listen.
No. And also, I definitely smoked cigarettes before that because my friend Ashley, we were just at dinner at my birthday laughing about this. My friend Ashley was older than all the rest of us. She had a really early birthday in the school year. And so she turned 18, bought a pack of cigarettes, and we went up on like our first trip, like as, you know, by ourselves. We went to like Motel 6 in Santa Barbara or whatever. And she bought a pack of cigarettes, and she didn't want to smoke them. She's like, Sarah, smoke them. And I totally did. And I smoked like half a pack of cigarettes in like one night and definitely became mildly addicted to cigarettes after that. So she's like, it's my fault. I'm so sorry. I did that to you. I'm like, yeah, you did.
She's
like, smoke.
You're a pip.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Did they interview the teenager in this article, do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, did he say
said he
like
felt like an 80-year-old man because he was so out of touch with everything. He can't figure out social media at all. He's with his friends, and he's like, what are you doing? Like, he has no idea. He's totally out of... But he does say that on the whole, it was totally worth it, and he would do it again.
I think that that's great, and I could see why, as long as you could use the internet, but you just didn't use social media, why that would be great.
Super great. And apparently his confidence is really,
right.
Oh my God. You know, it's really funny. So I've noticed that I'm doing this, and anybody who listened to the show for the last, which is hopefully all you guys, the last few episodes, I watched this video of this little kid who was interviewed for the news. And have you seen this one where he says apparently a million times? He goes,
no.
Apparently,
no, I love
apparently
it,
I was, have you seen what I'm talking about?
No, I want to.
Oh my God, it's the cutest thing ever. But I have watched this video of him doing this report so many times because it's so cute that now when I read things, the first thing I think in my mind is apparently. And so I keep saying it.
I love it.
There's no joke. I think I've said it 4 times this episode. Apparently, I can't stop saying apparently. And once you see it, I'm saying it exactly like him. And anybody who's listening who knows what I'm talking about is definitely laughing right now. It's the cutest thing in the world. So,
well, apparently it's time to wind down.
It is. We talked about how you need to ditch being happy. Just let go of it.
We have like the anti-self-help podcast. Like, you know what?
But really, we just made it all simple for you. We're like, stop. This is a work smarter, not harder lesson.
Just go to AutoZone. Just be mad about it. Don't worry about being mad about it because you don't have to be happy all the time.
Right.
Sarah
I feel better
is
already.
a Nicorette gum vibrational electrosensitive psychic. Bet you didn't know that. So stupid.
That's so funny.
And, word to the wise, don't put anything up your penis.
Don't check if that urethra is broken.
It isn't broken unless you've already put something up
in
there.
which case it is.
Apparently.
Oh, God, you make me laugh.
All right. We have had fun. And now you're going to go and you're going to subscribe and you're going to leave a 5-star review. Yes. And you're going to tell a friend and check out our website, braincandypodcast.com.
We love you all.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.